Welcome back. 412-575-2600 is the number on the Bordas and Bordas hotline. Taking your tweets at Josh Taylor HD. Wanted to point something else out. We were talking a little bit of Penguins before we went to the break. I know there was a lot of discussion in the past week about Ryan Reeves and Tom Wilson. Really dangerous hit that happened earlier tonight between Toronto and Boston. Zach Hyman of the Maple Leafs with a really dangerous hit behind the net. So it seems like those are situations that are starting to pile up more and more frequently right around now, and it becomes more and more of an issue. Let's go to the phone lines. Let's go to Mike in Oakland. Mike, you're on the Nightly Sports Call.
Hey, Josh. How you doing, my friend? Welcome back to the show. I don't see you very much on here.
I appreciate it. My opportunities are sporadic, but I'll be here every Saturday in the month of December and the next couple weekends, so good to be back.
Nice. Well, definitely. Nice to see you. A couple things quickly about the Pitt basketball game against West Virginia. I don't know if you watched it, but I really felt, I know Pitt was obviously a little bit undermanned. They definitely need a few more players. Next good couple recruiting classes by Jeff Capel, but I just felt the officiating was awful. I really felt it was so one-sided to West Virginia. I mean, literally, they were getting away with hacking Pitt players repeatedly, no calls. Pitt would do little minor hand checks or push-offs, and they would get an immediate foul. I felt that was a really key part of the game. I really believe if the officiating was fair, more fair at least, I think Pitt could have maybe hung in there, perhaps had a shot to pull the upset. I want to get your thoughts on that. And also I just want to mention about the Steelers and get your thoughts on that. I really believe it's time for the Steelers in the offseason to start signing a couple big splash defensive free agents. I mean, the time has come. I really think this offense has what it takes. Sure, we could use a different player here or there, but for the most part, we have the offense to go to the Super Bowl. It's the defense, in my opinion, that really is struggling and has struggled for a few years. The drafts haven't gotten it done, and I think that it's time for, especially with the money we save with Bell, I think it's time that we try to sign a really key top free agent in the offseason defensively, and hopefully draft again, someone. I think Burns is going to be cut. I don't see them keeping.
Mike, I got to let you go. It's a 22-minute show. Let's start to unpack this, or I'll forget what you're talking about by the time we get to a break. We'll start with Pitt, West Virginia. A 10-point game for Pitt to be in that 10-point game down in Morgantown when Sagaba Konate was not expected to play, came off the bench and had 16, 9, and 7 blocks. I'll consider that an accomplishment for Pitt. I will agree. Now, granted, that's college basketball. The home team usually, under most circumstances, the home team is usually going to get a couple favorable calls from the officials. It's just kind of how the game works. If you can research just about every game that's played in any conference, pretty much in any division, whether it's 1, 2, or 3 over the last 50 or some odd years, they'll tell you home teams tend to get a little bit more favorable calls from the officials, so I can't really hang everything up on that. The fact of the matter is it probably already comes down to what you mentioned at the very beginning. Pitt was really outsized. They don't have a lot of height to really deal with guys like a Sagaba Konate. Not many teams have a guy that can deal with a Sagaba Konate. So it comes down to a lot with that. West Virginia still puts up a lot of pressure. They're going to force turnovers. They're going to force mistakes. You got a team like Pitt's got a lot of young guys. They will make mistakes, but to their credit, they really did try to hang in with a West Virginia team that probably has a few extra pieces that they still lack, in which case I don't mind that too much for them. I think Jeff Capel tries to do the best that he can with what he has. And honestly, just wait it out, because Jeff Capel is not only a really good coach that's coached under some really good guys, he's an outstanding recruiter. I have no worries about him at all. Steelers-wise, I understand that the Steelers need help on the defensive end from a free agent, but the problem is they won't have the money to be able to afford one. They got to pay guys that are already there. You got to pay Joe Hayden next season. You got to figure out how you're going to pay Ben Roethlisberger next season. Plus, you're paying a lot of money to your offensive line. You're paying money for the best receiver in the league, Antonio Brown. You got a lot of guys that need to re-up in the next couple of years. And the truth of the matter is, if they're going to get better on defense, you got to draft better, because that's how they tried to rebuild the defense. So you got to hit more with draft picks. It looks like they've hit with T.J. Watt. I don't consider Bud Dupree to be a hit, but he hasn't really totally, I guess he hasn't totally pulled himself out of it. I guess you can say he hasn't totally indicted himself yet this season. But, yeah, if they're going to be better on defense, here's an idea. Probably make better free agent decisions than Morgan Burnett in hindsight is one that's not working out right now. That's probably a good place to start. Let's go to Waylon in Washington. Waylon, you're on the Nightly Sports Call.
Hi, Josh. Hope you're doing well.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
I see you're the Lone Ranger again.
That's what I do.
However, like Pitt's running backs, because it's going to be a different game. And I'm not sure. I'm not on my game like you are. I don't even know who the running back coach is. But I'm concerned about, picking up the blitz and holding on to the football. Any thoughts?
I'm concerned about all of it. I'm concerned about picking up the blitz. I'm concerned about holding on to the football. I'm concerned about throwing the football forward and finding someone who can catch it, because apparently that was a problem against Clemson. So there's a lot of things that you can add to the list. Protecting your quarterback a lot better is probably a good one. Here's an idea. Throwing the ball over the middle when the middle of the field is exposed by the defense is probably something else you can add to the list. And you're facing a team like Stanford and a coach in David Shaw who isn't really that stupid. So he's going to have a good game plan going in against Pitt. There's a lot of things I'd be concerned about, and ball security is probably lower on the list compared to having a passing offense that might know how to use the area in between the hash marks, just to start. Let's go to Brad in Pittsburgh. Brad, you're on the Nightly Sports Call.
Hey, what's going on, Josh?
How you doing?
I'm just sitting here thinking like this. I can't believe that we got to play our best ball against the worst team in the NFL.
I know.
And it's just flipping me out. But one thing I wanted to add it, man, they need to sit down your boy Artie Burns. Don't even dress him. You know what I'm saying?
They're already sitting them. They had to play him last week because so many guys got hurt because Sean Davis wanted to do his best Mike Mitchell impersonation and take out Joe Hayden. So they had to play Artie Burns. It wasn't Artie Burns' fault they played him. It's technically Sean Davis' fault they had to play him because he took out his own teammate. But I get what you're saying. I understand it. And the need for Artie Burns kind of does underscore not having a guy like Morgan Burnett, not having Joe Hayden in the game. They were running kind of thin on defensive backs. So the need to have Artie Burns in there is there. I'd like to think that if everybody's healthy, if everything is ceteris paribus, we're not even looking at Artie Burns' number on the sideline much on the field. But I do understand your point. It speaks to a couple different things. One, I just talked about it with a couple callers ago. If you want to rebuild this defense, well, you got to hit on draft picks. Clearly, Artie Burns is not one they're hitting on. And, oh, yeah, another first-round draft pick with a question mark next to it on defense. Sooner or later, you got to hit a couple, and they have to work out. Let's go to Maryland and Munhall. Maryland, you're on the Nightly Sports Call.
Hi, Josh. Good to see you.
Appreciate you.
I have a question about tomorrow's game. I'm wondering if it's going to be another deja vu since they're playing a team that's got such a poor record, whether they'll come out strong and then do what they did last week and go into cruise control, and then all of a sudden the other team perks up and they end up either in a hole or losing the game. What do you think?
I'm more worried about what happened a couple weeks ago in Jacksonville. That's what I don't want to happen. I don't want to see them fall in such a hole early that they got to climb themselves back out of it. That's what I'm more concerned about. Actually, one of them is probably the better option than the other. I'd rather see them start strong the way they did against the Chargers and just finish well. I'd rather see that happen as opposed to laying a total egg in the first 3 quarters of the game like they did against Jacksonville against another bad team on the road. That's the thing they can't afford to do. If they play their first half well like they did against the Chargers, I'll take that any day. It's keeping the consistency going. I talked about this, I think it was the night Purdue beat Ohio State. That is the blueprint for winning a football game. When you get a lead, you keep going, you keep adding. If now, let's say you have a 2-possession lead and the other team scores a touchdown. You score right back and put that 2-possession lead right back on the board. Because honestly, in today's football, whether it's college or pro, a 2-possession lead is not safe. If you can get up by 20, stay up by 20. Purdue did everything they could to stay ahead of Ohio State by 20 points or more. You need a 3-possession lead if you really want to be comfortable, because 2 ain't going to get it anymore. Because once you get the ball back and score, you need a score and a stop, and then you're in a position to either tie the game or, depending on the actual lead, maybe take the lead in the game. So that's where things get critical. That's where they cannot afford to fall behind Oakland. They need to get ahead and stay ahead and not take your foot off the gas till there's zeros on the clock at the end of 60 minutes. That's what I would do. Me personally, if I'm a coach in college or pro, I'm gunning for 40 points, and I'm not slowing down till I get there. If I have a 2-possession lead, I'm gunning for 50 after that until someone starts waving the white flag. But that's just me. Got to take a break. We'll be back in a minute.